Hey, this is Patrick from Workhands, and today I'm going to take you through how you use Workhands to track your hours as part of the Huntington JATC's electrical program. Now, everybody should be getting an invite to the system. If you haven't gotten one yet, make sure your coordinator has the right email address for you. When you get one of the emails, it should look something like this. You'll click through, you'll join now. We're going to go ahead and set up a password. And once we start to get into the system's going to just confirm some of the information we have already. So make sure we're at the right place. Go ahead and add a profile picture if you've got one. It's a great way for everybody to see who's in the system. And we're going to finish that up. And next, it's going to take us to our dashboard. And when we're at our dashboard, you'll be able to see all the progress we've made as part of the apprenticeship program so far. So you see our OJT and a few other things we'll hit on next. Let's click on OJT. Now in here we can see a bunch of green and red on these charts. This is a very quick snapshot of how you're doing across the board in your apprenticeship. So you've got your total hours, what percentage of that's complete. You'll see that approved. And where the system would project you would be based on the start date. So it's just a general tool to see if you're keeping up to date. And you'll do that for each category or work process as well. So you can see, you're pretty far ahead on some things and maybe falling a little bit behind. And that's completely okay and expected. It's just a tool to make sure that you don't get to the end of the program and find, you've got a big gap in installing, splicing, and terminating wires and cables. That should be pretty obvious as you go and see those bits of red that stand out. Now, the way these charts get generated is that instead of now filling out a piece of paper or a spreadsheet, all your hours can be submitted and approved from Workhands. And you can do this from the website, or once you signed up, you can then log into one of our Android or iPhone apps. So if you've got an Android or iPhone, go ahead and download the Workhands app in one of the app stores, log in, the same thing you use on the website, and you can do it all from your phone as well. When you get in there, we should have some of the hours imported from what you've had submitted to the JATC so far. And you may have maybe a month or two that you got to fill out just to backfill. So what we're going to do is just going to pull some of these up. And for some of the old hours you've maybe tracked already, we're going to make it easy on you and just go ahead and you can submit what you did for the entire month here. We're going to go ahead and submit that to your supervisor. And you may have already done this on a piece of paper. It's just a good way to do this in parallel to make sure everybody's used to the system while you're getting started. Let's say you've got the first week's time card though, and you haven't filled this one out. So let's go and do that. So maybe last week, go and say we did, 4, 12, 12 here. And we're just going to put all these in from last week as well, just to make sure our hours are caught up with what you've been tracking outside of Workhands. There we go. All right, now we get to the current week. And this is what's going to happen every single week. These will just be generated for you. Just like you would have had on the spreadsheet or the printout. You'll have each day of the week. And you'll be able to put in the hours for that week. So today's Monday. I'm going to go ahead and put in, today I spent the entire day doing installing. Just put down, maybe I split it up. Maybe I was doing 6 here and 2 there. And all I'm going to do is going to save that for later. And I can come back to this at the end of the week, or each day I'll just fill that in and update it. At the end of the week, Workhands is going to give you a notice to go ahead and submit these hours. You'll see the schedule's just right here. If you haven't submitted, you're going to get a reminder on Monday, and you potentially be overdue by Wednesday. So if you're just on this every Friday, you make sure this is fully filled out, or you're filling this out each day. It should be really straightforward. Whenever you submit, it's going to go to your supervisor that you're set up with in the system. So you've done your job here. And if you take a look, we should see some submitted hours in these charts as well. So you see a little bit more green now. So that's the core of it. You're going to be going submitting those hours to a supervisor. The supervisor has their own login. They're going to be able to pull this up, approve the hours, and you get notified whenever you do so. Now, a few other things while you're in here. The program will be able to send announcements to you, so you won't have anything in there right away, but they'll be able to send out a notice to you, say classes are canceled or rescheduled. You'll be able to start getting announcements in the application. You should see your supervisor here, your employer, and eventually if you ever need a printout of the report, you have that as well. And that's that. Most of you, like I said, are going to be using this on your phone. So all of this shrinks down. When you go to our Android and iPhone apps installed, it'll look something like this. And when you get in there, if you have any questions at all about how to use WorkHands, maybe you need to make sure that your supervisor is updated, or you need to reset your password, we can help you with any of that. So our team is on here typically from beginning of the day on the East Coast to the end of the day on West Coast. Ask us a question on here. If they're not there for whatever reason, we'll typically get back to you by email after about an hour or so. So that's that. If anybody has any questions, like I said, bring us up on support, and we're looking forward to see you on WorkHands. Thanks.